Now, staying with astonishing women, my next guest, she was also at yesterday's awards. Dr Maggie Aderin-Pocock is an award-winning scientist, presenter, of course, of The Sky at Night. She's making the world of space accessible for everybody. In her latest book, it's a cracker. It is called The Story of the Solar System, and it is so good to see you, Maggie.
Oh, lovely to see you.
And thank you for this book. Now, who do you want to read this, and what do you want them to take away?
So I want it to be accessible to everyone.
Right.
So this is kids, it's grown-ups. This is like a baseline of our understanding of the universe as it stands at the moment. And so this will evolve. It's evolved from the past. It will evolve in the future.
Sure.
But I love it because it's graphics. So it's trying to get the information across in a really accessible way. And it's not sort of heavy on the prose. It's got beautiful pictures and diagrams. And so it's just trying to get the information out there in as simple a way as possible.
Do you know what's really fascinating about this? When I was a kid growing up, with my dad had all of these astronomy books, and how much more we know now.
Oh, yes.
Isn't it incredible?
Oh, I love that, and I love telling the kids that.
Yeah.
That, because if you go back far enough, we used to think that the Earth was the centre of everything. I know, we laugh now, but...
It's true, you're right, and everything revolved round. Oh,
yes.
My goodness.
And that's why I like this, because we discover more all the time.
Yeah, of course.
And so it's looking at sort of, where we are now, but, what will be the next leaps and bounds.
See, I think this should be in every school, because don't you think that, I mean, obviously kids get taught many things, but these are huge issues that affect absolutely everybody, and kids are like wee sponges, and I always think that they want to know,
I think
where are we from, where are we going, what's happening, what are we made of, all these amazing things.
Yes, and the thing is, kids ask those questions, they're curious.
Of course they do.
And it's wonderful, and to sort of provide answers where we can, but tell them also that there's much more to find out.
Well, exactly, and they can do it. That's
it, we need their help.
And that's why I think what you do is brilliant, because you're always encouraging everybody, doesn't matter, boy, girl, no matter what colour you are, no matter what your religion is.
Yes.
Scientists, and we do need more women scientists, we do need more women engineers, we do need more of that, don't we?
Yes. Well, we need more diversity in STEM, science, technology, engineering and maths, because at the moment it's done by a small group, and that doesn't really work, because you need new ideas coming in, sort of different cultures, and it means we solve problems quicker, we sort of get solutions, and so and people have done the calculations. This definitely works, and also it's opportunities. If you want people to reach for the stars,
yeah, which you do all the time. Well, the thing is, seeing you doing it is fantastic. Your daughter is also inevitably, she's really interested in all this, isn't she? Of course she would be.
Oh, well, actually, I like her. I want her to find what makes her heart sing.
Of course.
Because that's what I've done. I love space. But yes, I think it's indoctrination. She can't help it. It's just too much of it at home.
No, but that's fantastic that you're giving her the opportunity to do that, and many, many other people the opportunity to do that. What do you think is something that we do talk about? And, when you actually sit and think about these giant things, which we don't do enough, but, if it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you wake up and look at the stars, there's got to be other things out there, don't you think?
Oh, definitely.
It can't just be us.
No. And also, because it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
If you look at our galaxy contains 200 billion stars. I know, and each one of those stars is like our sun.
Yeah.
And now we're actually able to detect planets going around those stars. And one of the things that the Hubble Space Telescope taught us is that in the whole of the universe, there's probably about 200 billion galaxies. So out of all that, again, we'd be very conceited if we thought, we're the only ones.
That's what I think. And
I think
I do. It's kind of got to be.
Yes, but I don't know if because some people talk about aliens coming to Earth and doing weird stuff.
Yes.
I'm not so sure about that, because the distances between the different stars, the different systems, are so vast that it will take a long time. So to our next door neighbour star, actually the 300 billion, it's 40 trillion kilometres.
See, my mind is just blown with
all the
of
big
that.
numbers.
And you're right, I don't really think little green men come and stick things up people's bottoms. I just don't. I think they've got better things to do, Maggie.
Yeah, why would they do that?
Exactly. I didn't know you were dyslexic, and you didn't know until quite, it wasn't when you were little that you got diagnosed.
No. And it's funny, because writing books is really quite challenging for me.
I can imagine.
That's why I like this, because it's an infographic.
Yes.
But yes, as a child, I used to beat myself up a lot and say, Maggie, other people can write reports. How come you can't?
Right.
You're just not trying hard enough. And it wasn't until much, much later that I realised I was dyslexic. Jeez. And I work now with a wonderful organisation called Made by Dyslexia. And it's funny, because I used to say, I suffer from dyslexia.
Yeah.
But now I really see it as my superpower.
Right, that's brilliant. You just turned it right round.
But things, there are all sorts of traits that dyslexics have which are really useful.
Yeah.
So communicating, empathy, sort of exploration, all these things that I thought were just me being weird turned out to be my dyslexic traits. And so it's lovely to celebrate this. And I meet so many people who say, oh, yeah, my daughter's just been diagnosed and I'm really worried about her. And so I send them to this charity, Made by Dyslexia, because it champions, all the positive things that come out of it.
Oh, I love that you can actually use something like that, because probably you wouldn't be as successful as you are, and you're such a brilliant communicator, if you weren't dyslexic.
I think these are definitely dyslexic traits.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, look, we're fellow geeks. We're also fellow Star Trek, original Star Trek.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, definitely.
Thank you very much, original Star Trek. And I don't think it's quite difficult for people nowadays to look back at the 60s and realise just how important this show was, because we saw there women in charge.
Yes.
There was a black woman on the... I mean, come on.
Laura.
This is the 60s. This is, this was crazy. And what was going on in America and how brilliant that was and inspired you.
It did, yes. Lieutenant Uhura was definitely my role model. I mean...
Did you ever meet her?
I did. I got to meet her once.
Oh, wow.
And it was a few years ago. Oh. And I got to meet her, and my daughter got to meet her. And the thing is, I like to think of myself as a professional, being able to speak. Yeah, but it was always, you're Uhura.
Yeah.
And she was just... but she was still amazing and still trying to encourage people to reach for the stars as well.
She was fantastic. She was amazing. She was the original trailblazer, I think.
Yes.
And I don't think we can underestimate ever the power of that woman.
Yes.
Likewise to you. Likewise to you. The story of the solar system, a visual journey. Is this going to be like a series? Are we going to...
We're starting with the same system. We might go out to the universe later. We'll see how it goes.
I think so. Maggie, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I can't wait for wee baby Billy to read this. Thank you so much for everything that you do. You're fantastic. Thank you.